Good day, everybody. My name is Kevin Hogan. I'm the author of The Psychology of Persuasion, The Science of Influence, 22 other books that have been translated into 43 languages all across the world. Today we talk about hypnotic language, specifically the word imagine. Oh, I have talked with you about the word imagine before. It's in the 7 magic words of persuasion. But I want to go a little bit deeper than what we did in the 7 magic words of persuasion. If we go back to the 7 magic words of persuasion, you'll remember that we briefly mentioned that just using the word imagine causes people to sort of open up, to reduce resistance, to reduce reactance, to just let something slide right into the non-conscious mind. All exactly correct and true. There's absolutely no request for assistance or work or effort when you ask somebody to imagine something. Cool? Okay, so all that was worthwhile. Great, now what? All right, so here now we have imagine what? How can we make this better? How do we improve on this? Well, my daughter took a trip and she did 2 things on two separate trips. And one of the things that she talked to me about was that she went to the Roman catacombs, and then she described them and talked to me about them. And it was pretty cool. It was sort of interesting. It was really hard to imagine. And then the other thing that she told me that she did when she was on a trip to Hawaii, which was completely out of my comfort zone, was that she went swimming with the sharks. So they put her in a cage, went down into the ocean, and the great whites literally came up and bashed against the cage, kind of like they did in the movie Jaws 40 years ago. Needless to say, I was not thrilled. This one caught my attention. This was extremely easy for me to wrap my mind around and know what the heck was happening. Didn't like it at all. It was very easy for me to imagine this scenario over the Roman catacombs. So no matter how creepy and how spooky and how otherworldly those Roman catacombs might have been, imagining swimming with the sharks, having the great white come right up to you, was really super easy. So what does this mean? When tested, we find that if you say to somebody, which of these trips would be really fun for you? To go to Rome and look at the catacombs and go swimming with the sharks someday in Hawaii, and all these different possibilities, people check off 4 or 5 different things. And then when it comes down to you making a sale, and I'll skip all the research, I'll just tell you the end result. When it comes to deciding what you're going to do for your next vacation, when you're going to plop down the money on Expedia.com or with somebody who's organizing a tour, when you say something along the lines of, hey, imagine yourself in the Roman catacombs, seeing all the crypts and all of those super cool things, skull, skeleton, the old tombs and the sarcophagi, all that kind of stuff, really cool stuff. I think you're gonna like it, don't you agree? And then the other alternative is, oh, by the way, one of the things that we're gonna do when we go on our trip next year is we're gonna be going swimming with the sharks. It's something that's gonna be pretty cool. You're gonna be able to go down into a cage and see the great white swimming around. You know what people choose? They choose to go swimming with the sharks, even though they don't like sharks, even though they don't wanna be by the sharks. They choose swimming with the sharks because it's easy for them to imagine. Think about that. It's easy for them to imagine. And because it's easy for people to imagine, that means that it's likely that they're going to choose it. So given the choices of 2 equal things, the way that you describe something in some abstract manner over here, in some concrete manner, having a shark bash up against the cage is really concrete. Having, a spooky, eerie Roman catacombs, whole different story, kind of abstract. When it comes right down to it, we do the things that we can imagine that are rock solid, easy to see, easy to feel, easy to touch, maybe get your hand bitten off, and then we're less likely to say yes to things that are more abstract. So if you want people to engage in a behavior, make sure you ask people the question, hey, what's the likelihood that you'll take a $100 bill, $100 of Ben Franklin, every single month and stick it into your bank account at the bank across the street this year? What are the chances? Okay, and if you ask the question like that, you not only increase the probability that they're going to do it, but by saying a $100 bill instead of taking $100 out of your paycheck, which is already direct deposited, it's not going to work. It's abstract. We don't even see that money anymore. But taking $100 and asking the person if they're going to actually go do it, that works. That causes people to say yes. It causes compliance, and people are going to actually go and do that. Okay, guys, I'll see you next time when we're swimming with the sharks.